welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Alex. I make book and lifestyle and coaching and business content. Welcome in. The first place I went to was Hatchard's bookstore. We went here because it is one of my favorite bookstores, and they just have such an incredible collection for this area that it is just a place I have to visit every single time. So there were so many different kinds of books that I picked up. Some of them I didn't actually end up filming just because I got so lost in my world of like book shopping that, yeah, I just forgot to pick up my camera. However, there were so many gems throughout that shop. I think I ended up umming and ahhing over picking maybe like 15 books. It's one of those ones where there are just so many, but you also have a really long TBR list, but it also sounds like a really good book. And it just takes you to the point where you're like, oh, I wish I could pick this up, but I can't. There are a few I ended up leaving on the shelf. One of the ones, even a few days later now that I'm filming this, one of the ones that I really, really wanted to pick up and didn't end up picking up was The Lady of the Nile, something like that. Hold on, I put it on my wish list. Let me go find it quickly. Our Lady of the Nile by Scholastic Mukasonga, I think is the name. So this follows schoolgirls, two of them being one ethnic group and the rest of the school being another ethnic group in pre-genocidal Rwanda. And it is looking like it's going to be an incredible read. So I have put that on my list to be read and to buy later. But without further ado, let's get into the books I did pick up, because this is a haul. So, to begin with, we have our lovely Hatchard's Bookshop tote. I don't know what I've got over it, but I've clearly got something on it. This side is cleaner. The Hatchard's bag that I picked up. So, in Hatchard's, I only ended up picking up 2 books because I wanted to be conservative and intentional with the books, because I'm also reading them this week for my book vlog. I couldn't pick up too many essentially. So I went for the first book, which is The Inheritance Games. I have been wanting to read this for a while. It came out in 2020. I don't think I heard of this until this year. So that kind of shows you how long it can take for a book to kind of cycle through the publishing stages and through the people talking about it stages. Otherwise, I've just missed a trick and I've missed it. But apparently it's really good. It's by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It is an international bestseller. I think we're on like book 5 now. So unfortunately, I am starting another series. But at the end of the day, how many books right now are actually not series? At least in my world, in BookTok world, in BookTube world, it is very rare you actually come across a standalone book, because authors inherently want to make more books. They make big plot lines. So everyone is pretty much making series right now, which is all good and fine, but it just means we are starting another series, which we probably won't be finishing this year. So it says, she came from nothing, they have everything, let the games begin. $1 billion fortune, Avery has a plan. Keep her head down, work hard for a better future. Then an eccentric billionaire dies, leaving her almost his entire fortune. And no one, least of all Avery, knows why. A deadly game. Now she must move into the mansion she's inherited. It's filled with secrets and codes and the old man's surviving relatives, a family hell-bent on discovering why Avery got their money. Winner takes all. Soon she is caught in a deadly game that everyone in this strange family is playing. But just how far will they go to keep their fortune? So I feel like that sounds really good. It's kind of high stakes. It doesn't sound fantasy at the moment, but honestly, who knows? Who knows with this kind of genre? But yeah, I got this one for $8.99 and I'm very much looking forward to reading this. It is, so I don't have any spoilers, I think that's the start of another book. Yes, it is. 371 pages, which I think is a very doable length for me. 300 to 400 like kind of length books usually take me 2 to 3 days if I'm focused. So hopefully I will start and finish this in this video, and I'm very excited to read it, to be honest. I don't have much more to say on that because obviously I haven't read it yet, but if you continue with my Vlogmas, make sure you like and subscribe and comment so it keeps bringing you back and you have notifications from me. We will be reading all of these books in a reading vlog coming out very shortly in Vlogmas, so stick around for that. Next, we have the second book I picked up. Now, there are a lot of books in between all of these. I kind of came to this book as one of the last books I picked up in Hatchards, and I've been wanting to read a translated book for ages, and I've been looking and umming and ahhing about which one I wanted to read, and I came across What You Are Looking For in the Library. No, sorry. What You Are Looking... Can I read? What You Are Looking For is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. It is, I think, Japanese translated. Did I read that somewhere, or was that a different book? Potentially. Anyway, I picked this up as one of the last things I picked up and read in the store, partly because it is a shorter story. So this is, without spoilers, 400, where am I getting that number from? 247, I believe, pages, without trying to give myself any spoilers. So this I could probably read in a day, if I'm, again, focused. It looks like pretty small writing, like it's not huge text, so it is definitely kind of like half the size, a third of the size, no, nearly 2/3 of the size of the Inheritance Games. So hopefully I can also start and finish this book in this week. It is really just going to be a lot of hours straight of reading, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So that is What You're Looking For in the Library. The blurb is, what are you looking for? So asks Tokyo's most enigmatic librarian. For Sayuri I'm so sorry in the pronunciations. For Sayuri Komachi is able to sense exactly what each visitor in her library is searching for and provide just the book recommendation to help them find it. A restless retail assistant looks to gain new skills. A mother tries to overcome demotion at work after maternity leave. A conscientious accountant yearns to open an antique store. A recently retired salaryman searches for newfound purpose. In Komachi's unique book recommendation, they will find just what they need to achieve their dreams. Which book will you recommend? I think that sounds so cute and sounds really interesting. This is probably going to be a display book. Can I speak? A display book on my shelf, and I just think I'm really excited to read this. Diving back into the bag, we headed to Waterstones next, which is another favourite of mine. I love Waterstones. I am in there at least twice a week, browsing at books, seeing what I'd like to read, seeing what is going on the wish list. We were on a time crunch at this point because after this we had a cinema appointment. We were going to see Wicked, which, watch my previous video, which is about this shopping experience, come shopping with me kind of video, and we watched Wicked during that video. Oh, you'll see all my thoughts after. Anyway, in Waterstones we pretty much stuck to the fiction and sci-fi fantasy realm because I didn't think these two books that I picked up from Hatchards were kind of in that realm. I don't know this for sure, but from my guess from reading them when I picked them up, they weren't in the realm of sci-fi fantasy, which is my safe space. It is my comfort zone. So I decided in Waterstones, because we were on a time crunch, I would just stick to sci-fi and fantasy. There were many a book I wanted to pick up and read in this area in Waterstones. There are quite a few that I showed on my previous video, and so many of them are now on my wish list and on my TBR. So definitely go check that out if you want to know what they are. The first book I picked up and decided I was going to buy is Cassandra Clare's Swordcatcher. So this book came out, I think, if I refer to my notes, it came out in 2023, so a year ago, and It's got some very high praise on the front cover. So we have Holly Black saying, a triumph. We have Lee Bardugo, who is one of my favourite authors also, spellbinding. We have George R.R. Martin of Game of Thrones said, everything I look for in a fantasy. So that is very high praise indeed for Cassie Clare. Swordcatcher says, one was raised to rule, one was trained to die. And I really love the cover. This is another very, very pretty cover. Although sometimes I do wish they didn't put the like extra stuff on the front. You can't get away with that anymore though. Pretty much every book has some kind of like recommendation, quote, international bestseller, whatever, written on the front cover to help you pick up the book. But it's annoying when you've picked up the book, you've bought it and it's sat on your shelf and it just says those things. Anyway, on to the description of this book. Two outcasts could change their world. In the vibrant city-state of Castellane, that's how I'm saying this, Castellane, everyone always has a go at me about my pronunciation. Kell is an orphan, stolen from his old, impoverished life to become Prince Connor Aurelian's body double. As his sword catcher, he and Connor will become as close as brothers, yet Kell lives for one purpose, to die for Connor. Lynn Castor is an Ashkar physician, part of a community ostracised for its rare magical abilities. After a failed assassination attempt pulls her and Kell together, they are drawn into the web of the mysterious ragpicker king who rules Castellane's criminal underworld. But as long-kept secrets are uncovered and forbidden attractions bloom, will their discoveries plunge their land into war and nations into chaos? That sounds right up my alley, to be honest. We've got potential enemies to lovers, not too sure. We have like brotherly potential feuds, is what I'm guessing what might come of this. We have intrigue, we have plot, we have criminal masterminds, criminal underworlds that we get caught up in. This sounds like a very intriguing book, and it is a hefty one. It is, without spoilers. I like do this so I can't see things. 623 pages. So it's not a light read. I'm probably most definitely not going to start and finish it in the reading vlog. However, it will be in my wrap-up video because it's going to be on December's TBR list to read. I will try and start it during this reading vlog, just so you know my initial thoughts on like the first 5, 10, 20%, but no promises on finishing it. That one is a pretty hefty book. That one will probably take me a week and a half because it's 600 pages and it's a fantasy and it's pretty intense from the sounds of it, high plot, high fantasy. So that usually takes me a little bit longer because I need dedicated time, focused time to delving into the story. On to the fourth and final book I picked up during my book shopping was Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I've heard a lot of things about this, but no definitive opinions. I feel like it's a book that kind of splits opinions. You either really, really love it, or it's like, this is okay. So I'm very curious to see how I fall on that spectrum, whether I love it, whether it's meh, it's okay. I'm very interested to see, but let's read the back. When old secrets catch fire, everything must burn. All her life, healer Diam Bellator, Bellator? We're going with Bellator, has yearned to escape her tiny village in Amarian, a realm ruled over by cruel demigods known as the Descended. Although her parents have always tried to shield her from their brutality, Diam's world changes forever when her mother goes missing, leading her to uncover a dangerous secret that links her family to the dreaded Descended in ways she never imagined. The journey to unravel the web of mysteries Diam's mother left behind is long and treacherous, and it soon leads her to the dark domain of those who rule her world, the Descended's royal palace itself. With the dying king's handsome, enigmatic heir watching her every move, and a ruthless rebel alliance urging her to join the looming civil war, Diam must reevaluate everything she thought she knew to save her loved ones and finally discover the truth about her world. The library journal says this is an epic, slow burn romantasy. So, very intrigued on this one. I do love I find out I'm part of this very elite small group, and now I have to get to know them all and work out my path and my way in the world. I do love a book like that. I loved Red Queen. Same kind of plot. Again, this is a book one, so this is part of a saga. I don't actually know how long this is meant to be. I didn't do that research. So 3 out of the 4 books I picked up are the beginning of series. However, like I said before, it's pretty hard to find books that aren't part of the series now. So we will be diving into another romantasy series. I'm very, very curious to see how this goes and where it goes. Some of the edges are like kind of sprayed at the top, but only on one part of it. So I don't know if this is just like a printing issue or if it's meant to be something that I see in the book. I don't know. But that is the 4th and final book that I picked up during my book shopping. I'm very excited to get into all of these. Again, I will attempt to at least pick up and get into all 4 of them, let you know my thoughts as I keep going. This is where I'm going to leave you. I don't want to give you too much information just yet. Catch the reading vlog, catch my reading wrap up if not, and I will see you in the next Vlogmas video. Bye guys.